figured I'd cover a few more things on the Roxor. So I've had the Roxor for a couple weeks now. I've really kind of finalized the exact plan of what I'm going to do to it during the build for SEMA. So I'm going to give it a custom highline kit. So I'm going to take these fenders and I'm actually going to move them up so that the top of the fender matches the top of the belt line in the back. That's going to require some custom fabrication and a few other things on the front to make it look like that's how it rolled off of the assembly line from Mahindra. I'm also, you can see there's a missing spot right here. I'm going to chop the top about 4 inches, drop the entire thing down because I think it's a little bit tall and I think it'll give it a better overall aesthetic appearance and be a little bit more fun and lower center of gravity. We're also adding a bunch of things from a lot of different companies, as well as I'm going to ditch the small stock axles and I'm going to widen them a lot. So these are 53.5-inch wheel mount to wheel mount on the front axle and 52.5-inch wheel mount to wheel mount on the back axle. And we're going to go about 63 inches wide, almost 64 inches wide. So it'll be very, very close to that of a JK. That also allows us to upgrade the steering to much heavier duty components. Overall, I think I'm only going to lift the vehicle about 1 inch to allow the use of 37-inch tires. And lots of other changes throughout, but this is the big one. But really to talk about some of the things that I've learned about the Roxor and some of the things that I think you should know. One, the chassis. The chassis on this, or the frame, is really, really well built. In fact, this is probably one of the nicest frames I've seen in regards to an old Jeep or even something brand new in a long time. It's a heavy wall, fully boxed frame, lots of cross members and support. You know, it was really designed, and I talked to some of the guys at Mahindra, it was really designed for a military application. That's when they beefed up the frame back in the mid-80s. So the chassis is great. The little power plant in this, 4-cylinder turbo diesel, it's a 2.5 liter. It's got gobs of horsepower and torque for what the vehicle is. Now, honestly, I am having diesel freaks make me a new tune. So I'm changing the tune, so instead of limiting it at 62 horsepower and 144 foot-pounds of torque, I'm basically going to double the horsepower and I think double the torque, which will bring the torque closer to 250 to 300 and the horsepower around 120, which should really wake this thing up. And apparently this engine's capable of it very simply, so that's really cool. Also, you can see, ditched the seats. Basically, I ditched the entire interior for now. So I'm changing the front seats to a different style seat. I'm also getting them covered in a very, very high-end vinyl with a custom touch that you'll have to wait to see till later. But I'm really, really happy with this thing. You know, Dana 44s front and rear on a vehicle that weighs 3,000 pounds, or a Dana 44 equivalent. Basically, it's like an old military contract. But very, very cool vehicle. It's a lot of fun to tool around in the property. I have even driven it up some of the back roads because here in Shiawassee County, we're allowed to take side-by-sides and off-road only vehicles on the back roads. So I have been driving it back and forth on the back roads a couple times, picked my son up from the school bus, but I've had a lot of fun with it already. Now, I did put the windshield frame on it and I did change the ROPS. The ROPS I changed to the 4-seat ROPS and I did put the windshield frame on it, but because I'm cutting it, I had to also cut the windshield frame and a few other things. So you'll see that later in the course of the build. But if you have any questions about the Roxor, just let me know. If I don't know the answer off the top of my head, I'll definitely do the research to find out so that you get the information that you want. But for all intents and purposes, I know it's not a Jeep. I know it's kind of a copy. However, Mahindra's had the licensing for these Jeeps since the 50s. So it's not a Jeep, it is a Roxor, it is an Indian company, it's not a 100% American-made product, but it is assembled and a lot of the parts are manufactured right here in Michigan, which is pretty cool for me. But any questions you have, anything you want to see, anything you want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments below. please like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Let me know what I need to do to start making some of these videos better for you. This is another unedited one because I really don't have very good editing chops right now. But I'll continue to grow and I'll continue to get better if you want me to. Thank you very much. Have a good day and follow along. I'm going to keep cutting and I'll shut the video off in a second, but definitely enjoy and let me know what you want to hear. So this is Sir Eats a Lot from Milwaukee. Love this thing. And as soon as you buy a Roxor, you should do the same thing. Just start cutting it up. It's a lot of fun. Have a good day.